When you grow up with no to little money, sometimes it's the fear of having nothing, the fear of being poor, and the fear of going without. If you're scared of money, money won't come to you. Retail therapy is an addiction that needs constant feeding, because you buy this thing today, you're going to want another thing today, and then another thing, and another thing. You will never be satisfied. The only loyalty that you need to have is to your bank account. Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about money. I'm going to be talking about my recession proof money habits that help me get rid of my broke mindset and attract more money, especially now with the price of everything going up. Okay, the impending recession, people's pay staying stagnant. Child, we just left the pandemic, going straight into a recession. But healthy money habits can make a difference between you being broke and you being rich. And I was broke until I learned this. I'm talking brokey broke, which is why I wanted to share with you guys how to cultivate a positive relationship with money and adopt healthy money habits. If that interests you, then keep on watching. If you're new here, hello, my name is Lorraine and my channel is Lori Lux, and I focus on all things self-improvement, affordable luxury, lifestyle, and also a dash of motherhood. If you love all that, I hope that you do subscribe to my channel and join the family. Before you actually get to the rich end of the scale, because I know a lot of us are impatient and we want to be rich yesterday, do you actually understand your relationship with money? Comment down below if you understand what your relationship with money is. For people like us who grew up with no to little money, we have two extremes when it comes to our relationships with money, and that's either spending too much or spending nothing at all. And I have been on both ends of the spectrum. The core reason for both ends of the spectrum is the fear of having nothing, the fear of being poor, and the fear of going without. We'll start off with the overspending side of the spectrum. This is where there's a lot of impulse buying, a lot of short-term gratification. As soon as money comes, it goes. There's no planning when it comes to money. There's no budgeting. This person tends to live paycheck to paycheck. They tend to be falling behind in all their payments. They tend to be in a lot of debt. They are constantly borrowing money from other people, and this is because as soon as they're being paid and they've got some money, the money just goes straight out, and within a couple of weeks or within a few days you're wondering, where has my money gone? And this is because when you grow up with no to little money, you just focus on the now, you just focus on the short-term gratification. There also tends to be a lot of FOMO at this end of the spectrum, because you don't want to miss out. You want to keep up with the Joneses, okay, and maintain maybe a lifestyle that you can't afford, constantly keeping up with the trends, having that designer handbag, having those designer shoes that you probably don't afford, because if you can't buy something and still have that same amount 3 times in your account, you shouldn't be buying it, okay? I get it. I have been at this end of the spectrum, getting that credit card and that credit card so I can make certain purchases, because I was just living in the now. And on the opposite side of the spectrum, you have people who don't want to spend any money, people who are frugal, and people who are cheap. And this is where I tended to be majority of the time. Now, this person is constantly counting the penny, heavily motivated by the price tag, sales, discounts, and their frugal nature has limited them so much in all aspects of their life, to the point that sometimes they're not even happy. So even though they might have a lot of money in their savings, they're not living the life that they want to live, because they don't want to spend money, because they're scared of spending money, they're scared of losing money, they're scared of going back to that place where they were without. Comment down below which end of the spectrum that you're at. What you want to do is adopting certain principles of these two extremes, and then coming somewhere in the middle and having a healthy relationship with money. And the way that you do this is by adopting healthy money habits. The first healthy money habit is to have a payday routine. I've spoken about the importance of cultivating habits and routines in your life, which becomes second nature, things that you actually look forward to and things that you actually enjoy. And your payday is the same, saving is the same, okay? And what you do is create a soothing, relaxing environment for you to actually go through your budget, because sometimes the reason why we shy away from budgeting for most people is that it can be a boring process, it can be a daunting process. So if if you actually make it a relaxing process, an enjoyable process, light up your candles, play some music, okay, or maybe have your favorite podcast in the background and just create a nice little setup for yourself. Maybe actually even make your favorite meal. I find that eating whilst I'm budgeting also helps, but that might be me because I just love food. The way of having a good payday routine is not budgeting on the day that you get paid, okay, because that's probably the day that money tends to come out of your account, and you also want to enjoy the money that you have made, okay. I would actually recommend actually having a payday routine either a week in advance before your payday, or at the very least 3 days before. A lot of jobs will give you your pay slip a week in advance. Even if you're self-employed, you kind of know when your money is coming in, so this can apply whether you have a full-time job or whether you are self-employed. Then get your budget template, look at your previous spending, put down all your expenses and all that good stuff. If you actually want me to share my payday routine and how I budget, then let me know in the comment section down below and I'll be sure to share that with you. The next money habit is to stop avoiding looking at your bank account. I know a lot of people, when they're buying something and they're at their till squinting, hoping that it's going to go through, because they don't even know if they've got enough money in their account to pay for whatever it is. You need to stop doing that. Constantly look at your account. If you're scared of money, money won't come to you. If you're scared of looking at your bank account, that means you're scared of money. Even when you know that you don't have any money, check anyway, because what this does is humble you, because you know what you can and you can afford. I would recommend that you look at your account weekly at the very least. Checking your bank account is also good for tracking your finances, because you're able to see how you're spending your money. You're able to see where majority of your money is going. If you check your account and you see, oh, I'm spending a lot of money at Costa Coffee, I'm spending a lot of money on Uber Eats, this then prompts you to minimize that, because when you're not checking your finances and you're doing YOLO and soft life, which I'm all for, by the way, okay, you're actually spending more money than you have or than you realize, okay. Even if you actually have done your payday routine and you've budgeted and you've saved, we are human, okay, things happen. But if you're looking at your account, tracking your finances, you're able to see on a weekly basis how much you're spending aside from your direct debits, aside from your expenses, and this then helps you to cut back. This is also part of having an abundance mindset and removing that scarcity mindset, okay, because then you're not walking around in fear, then you're not walking around anxious. You think that you're protecting yourself and you don't want to have negative vibes by checking your account and seeing that you don't have any money. But what you're doing is actually having a scarcity mindset, because you're telling yourself that you don't have any money. You're telling yourself that you're not going to have more money. But if you're constantly checking your account, it not only makes you a realist because you know what you're dealing with, but it's also attracting more money. It's also creating more abundance. The next money habit is to not have any loyalty, okay? Do not have any loyalty to brands and do not have any loyalty to providers. The only loyalty that you need to have is to your bank account, okay? When I'm talking about providers, I'm talking about your insurance providers, I'm talking about your energy providers. As people, we can be creatures of habit. People tend to stay with their providers for years because they're loyal to that brand, they don't want to change, okay? But also because they don't know that it's possible to actually change providers, and a lot of providers use this to their advantage. That's why sometimes when you are actually checking your account, which you should be doing, okay, you might see that your energy has gone up because maybe the deal that you got it with a year ago has come to an end. It's okay to shop around and look for new providers. This is something that I tend to do frequently, okay? I have no loyalty to any providers, okay? The only loyalty I have is to my bank account, okay? I will go on comparison sites, I will call around, and 8 times out of 10 I always find a cheaper provider. Providers are always doing deals for new customers. It's very rare that they do deals for older customers because they're already having your money, they already have your business, they're trying to attract more customers, get more money from other people. So you need to take advantage of this, okay, and constantly changing providers as often as you can, okay? This also applies to clothing brands or maybe where you get your coffee or whatever. Do do not be loyal to that brand. A lot of people shop with the same brand because they know that they're going to be getting great quality, okay? But there's so many different brands out there that can provide the same amount of quality but a cheaper price. The next money habit, I know the girls are not gonna like it, but you need to stop buying clothes, okay? You do not need that new top. Retail therapy is an addiction that needs constant feeding, because you buy this thing today, you're gonna want another thing today, and then another thing, and another thing. You will never be satisfied. You will never get to a point where you think, you know what, I have all the clothing pieces in my wardrobe that I need. You will always want more. Just stop buying clothes. This is something that I realized when I took 9 months of social media when I was pregnant. Because I wasn't consuming a lot of content, I wasn't feeling like I needed that dress, like I needed that bag, okay? And I saved a lot of money. I used to spend so much unbudgeted money on clothes, okay? Because I would see something, I'd be like, yep, I need it, okay? And I would order it, next day delivery, it's at my door. I would have something being delivered every single day. I didn't realize how much money I used to waste on buying clothes until I stopped buying clothes, okay? When I went off social media when I was pregnant, I didn't buy anything and I saved so much money. So stop buying clothes. You really don't need that top. The next money habit is to stop being cheap, okay? Start focusing on the quality versus the quantity, because if you're always buying something because it's on sale, if you're always buying something because it's affordable and it's cheap, you will spend more money than if you actually invest in something that's higher quality, okay? If something is priced too good to be true, chances are it probably is. You're not only compromising on the quality, but you're actually wasting money, okay? Because how many times have you bought the same thing, that basic top, that pair of trousers that you love, that you're constantly buying, okay? Because you bought it at a very cheap or affordable price. But if you actually invest in higher quality, something that's more expensive, okay, that will give you cost per wear because it's better quality and it will last in your wardrobe for a very long time. It's better to have a small closet of pieces that are high quality than a large closet of pieces that are poor and cheap quality. I recently got rid of 70% of my clothes, and majority of them, to be honest, were fast fashion. This is from another frugal queen, okay? Start investing in quality pieces. Start looking at cost per wear. The next money habit is something that I've actually started doing myself, and that's changing from monthly subscriptions to yearly subscriptions, okay? What tends to attract us to monthly subscriptions is that we feel that we can afford that monthly payment compared to that yearly payment. But when you pay monthly, you're actually going to pay more overall. If you're quoted £500 a year for your car insurance, but they say that if you pay monthly, you can pay maybe £30 to £40. However, that might mean that overall you might be paying up to £700, which is £200 more than the initial £500 a year that you were quoted. So even though it is a huge lump sum to just pay off, it is cheaper for you in the long run, because 1, you don't have to pay interest charges, and 2, you've made that payment. You don't have any more monthly payments coming out of your account. So that means you're actually going to have more disposable income to either save or put towards other expenses or other things that you want to do. The next money habit is to make sure that you're budgeting your treats or things that you need to feel good and to live good, because we all know you're going to do them anyway, so you might as well incorporate them in your budget. But at the same time, make sure that you're being realistic with your cost, okay? There are a lot of things that I feel that I need that I don't really need, that I just want, okay? What will happen if you don't do or have that thing? How will not having or doing that thing make you feel? If you find that it makes you feel down or depressed to not have it, that means that it's essential. If you find that you can go without and it doesn't really affect you, that means that you probably don't need it. So you probably shouldn't be incorporating it into your budget. This is completely aside from the big purchases or big things that you do, like going on holiday, buying a designer handbag. I'm talking about the day-to-day small things that you might see as mundane. If you know that you always get a takeaway on a Friday and you look forward to that and it makes you feel good, that needs to be a part of your budget. And even in tough times when we do need to cut back, okay, you can incorporate at least 1 or 2 treats in your budget. The next money habit is to let go. It's time to sell the things that you don't want and you don't use. I'm not just talking about clothes, I'm talking about everything in your house. Every so often you need to go through your house, go through your closet and look at things that you don't need anymore, that you're not using, that you just have in your house, that you need to get rid of, because clutter just clutters the mind. But most importantly, you can actually earn some money. So like I mentioned previously, I did a huge wardrobe purge and I cleared out about 70% of my clothes and I sold majority of those things. I got a bit of profit from that. It's time to let go. Stop holding on to things just in case you need them in the future, okay? I know there's things that are sentimental, but if you haven't used something in the last 6 months or even a year, it's time to get rid of it. If you don't find the same joy that you did when you first bought that thing, just let go. Like this video if you have found these money habits useful. Let me know in the comment section down below what money habits you have, because child, it's tough times, but we shall prevail. If you come all this way, thank you so much, but do not click off from this video without subscribing to my channel, pressing the notification bell and watching this video, because you will find it just as valuable. I will see you in my next video. Bye lovelies.